What is up? Thank you for joining me today on this video. So I've been spending a lot of time over the past week or two making ads from scratch just using ChatGPT. And since the update, as I'm sure you're aware, it is a super powerful tool. It's getting better and better every day that I use it, to be honest. But there are some things that can really save you time and also get you much better outputs. That I've found over this process of making lots and lots of ads and making lots of iterations over time. So in this video, I'm going to go through what I've found works, the way that I structure my prompts and the way that I kind of go through the different steps to get my ads. And then eventually how we've got to the point like now in this one in front of us here, I've made this ad with one single prompt. And for the reasons that I'm going to go through, you want to get to this stage as well to get the best possible results. It saves you time and also you'll be getting the best results off the bat as well. So first of all, we're going to go into this example here. So one way that I suggest doing ads is, well, let's break it down and look at kind of what makes an ad a static Facebook ad. So kind of have three main things. We've got the product, which is going to be obviously the main focus of the image, and that is what you're trying to sell. We've got the scene, so the actual imagery around the ad, the scene that you're trying to paint, whether it's the location, the effects that are happening, or the person using the product. And then we've also got the hook or the headline, which is going to catch the eye. It's going to add some description and some personality to the ad. And also that hook should also match nicely with the creative and also the product you're trying to sell. So if we get those three things right, the ad will knit really well together and it's going to get your idea across much better. So first of all, one of the ways that I like to do this is I like to prompt and get the product and the scene correct first. And the reason I like to do this is because we can just focus on the imagery first. And once we've got that template, we can then take it out and put it into Canva and then play around with our fonts and our headlines and our call outs afterwards. Or we can go into ChatGPT and then ask it to put some text on afterwards. But if we do get this image done first, it's very useful to just have this image as a base and then see how we can improve it after that. So in this example here, I've just literally taken a picture of the pre-workout that was in my cupboard. This picture right here, uploaded it, and I gave a prompt of kind of the idea that I wanted to put into practice here. And I get a lot of my ideas from Claude as well, which I'll be doing some more separate information on, more content on, but I like to put my ideas, my hooks, my copy, get that from Claude, and then that comes into ChatGPT where I'm putting it into an image. So I've asked it to give me a rough setting here. What I wanted to get across here was the fact that to catch people's eye that obviously this is a gym supplement, and also to really kind of get the flavour and the punch across the fact that this is a tasty pre-workout. So I've given it the brief here. I wanted it to be on a gym bench, and then I also wanted to kind of get the flavour away with just having lots of like the blueberries coming towards the product. So the first guy we've got here, I was really happy with. We've got kind of the splashes in the background, we've got some depth added to the image, and we've got it clearly on a gym workout bench here as well to add some context to the advert as well. Problems with this is I want it a square, so then I can use it and make different formats from that. And also then I wanted to think about some copy to add onto that as well. So next prompt, asked it to make it a square. I got the phrase kind of one more rep and your ticket to one more rep. And I exclusively said I wanted one more rep to be the focused and the most dominant part of the image. And also to make sure the font is impactful and in your face. Make sure you're specific like that with the font and also the phrasing of it or the structure of it with what you want to be bold. Because otherwise it will just give you really boring font and it will literally just write it in there in something very boring. And this is the result that we've got. So your ticket to one more rep is highlighted. I think the font matches quite nicely with the rest of the image. It's nice and bold and clear. And from this situation, we've basically got this image here, which we can then use to edit on Canva if we wanted to. And then we've got our finished ad, which I think is pretty much ready to run. And also the product is looking fairly good here as well. So let's move on to the next one. So the next one is Space Goods. This is a mushroom coffee, which is known for kind of giving you lots of focus, reducing the crash, and a lot of it is tailored towards office workers. I've done the same here, but here's an example of where it's kind of messed up. So I've given lots of information about the product, which actually you don't always need to give a lot of information about the product. Keep it simple and just say the framework or the basis of what you want the ad to be. Because what I've done here, I've actually given a lot of information on the use of the product, brain function, making it your best work days. And what it's given me, first of all, it's this, but then it's actually gone on to, I wanted to line it up a bit, and it's just started putting some text on there straight away, which is not what I wanted. It's taken kind of some of the rough words that I gave and it just plopped it straight on there. We don't want that. This is where it's kind of come into a problem. And also you can see here where we've iterated on this image, it's iterated again, and we've got less details in this product, and it's also added some other unnecessary stuff here, like we've got another sachet of the product that doesn't look correct, and this is just not really an ad that we can use. And that's because we gave it too much information and we weren't specifically talking about where we wanted the product to be and how we wanted it to look. Let's go on to another one. So this one is another supplement ad, and this is one that went a lot better for me, and I also managed to iterate it forward. So these are creatine gummies. I gave the concept here of basically the good thing about gummies is they're a lot cleaner, you're not messing around with powder, and they're always on the go. So I've given that. I've given my basis of what I want it to be like, but I've also been specific in what I wanted the text to look like. So whereas in the previous one, it's put the text on there itself, which I didn't want to do. I've now specifically said I want creatine at the top, and then I wanted to kind of push its limits a bit. I then wanted without the mess underneath, as if it was written in on some messy powder on a worktop and someone's just done it in there with their finger. Let's go down to the first result. The first result, I was really happy with, to be honest. I was quite impressed by it. It's actually got like the nice angle, like it looks like it's been written on an angle. Certain problems with it, there's not enough space up here for me. It looks a bit crowded, and also where it's been written in the creatine, there's like an orange tint to this, and that's just something that ChatGPT has decided to do, but it's something that I don't want on there. So I've also gone into that, removed the orange, and I've tried to add some more space around it. And you can see it has added a little more space to it. It's not perfect yet, but it's a lot better. But you can see it has taken out the orange on that. Perfect. But then you can see it's also made the letters a lot more kind of static, and it looks like a font. I've then gone in and tried to make it a bit messier, and it's kept that, and that is kind of one of the holdbacks on this. It's kind of kept it looking quite standardized. And we had one more go to evenly space this. If we go all the way down, and this was the final prompt here. More messy and not in a consistent font. I highlighted this, and this is kind of where we got to there. Added some creatine on it, made the worktop a bit darker to make it pop. And you can see where we go, and this is the final result that we've got. So I'm very happy with this. What I would do different next time is I would be more specific about the spacing. I'll be more specific about how I wanted this to look. And the reason I want that is because we've lost some color and lost some of the font and the logo here. Because every time we're iterating, we're getting further away from that original product photo that we added in there. So what we can do is we can put this into a brand new prompt, start from scratch with a lot more information, and then hopefully we'll be getting a much better result on that as well. And some more examples of iterating on this and it kind of messing up your image is sour strips candy. This is the brief that I gave it. It's got some blemishes here. This circle is not relevant to the product, and we've got a blemish on the skin here, and I want it to look slightly more cartoonish. I asked to remove those blemishes. It's kept the blemishes on, and it's made it well, like super cartoony, and it doesn't have as much of an effect. Asked it to take it back and change the background, and it's still keeping this here, and we're not really getting away from this, and now it's got into this habit of giving us a really cartoony face, and this doesn't look as good, so we're going to start again. What we can do is we can go back here. We know what it wasn't good at. We can give that in straight away, and again gets a really good image. And straight off the bat, we're getting something much, much nicer here. The product is much more, it's only one prompt away from the product, so that's looking a lot better. I've given the background context a lot better, and now we've got a really good image to go with. I can then upload the logo, upload my hook, and say I want the hook to be written in this exact style. And there we go. So this one has only taken two prompts, but it's from the information that we learned from the previous one that we did. And here's another example as well. So here we've got electrolyte salts. What I have done here is I've been specific about elite hydration, and then underneath in smaller text, water is only the start, and specific about that at the start, and I want the font to be kind of similar to that and kind of the design that I want to go around from it. And this looks really good. I did want some tweaks on this. The background was a bit boring and I wanted to make it a square. And what we kind of got down to was this one. I wanted a grayscale gym background, and we've kept all the other really nice details in here. And I think this is really good. A couple of things that are holding it back is the bottom is trimmed off the image. And you can see the magnesium here is missing an I, so the words aren't quite perfect. But again, we can put this into a new prompt and we can start again from there. But overall, what the image looks like, the creative looks great. This is bringing it to life. We've got the background context of kind of a grayscale gym, and then we've got the hook, which matches really, really nicely to the rest of the image. And then we're going to the final one here. So this is kind of bringing it all together. The prompt that I've given for this, it's not actually super long, but from all the experience that I've got, I can kind of guess where it's going to start messing up. Like this prompt, for example, I know that it's not going to space these correctly and it's going to make focus and without all the same size. I know it's naturally going to go to a boring font that won't match the rest of it. And I know that the more iterations that I do, it's going to make this product look less like the original image. And if I upload the original image again, it's then going to start changing all of the other stuff. So the prompt for this one is the product. I want it next to a glass of iced coffee to show the product. I've been clear about I want the words focus at the top and then without the underneath. And then I've been clear about coffee jitters to be written as if someone has done it in coffee granules. And again, from what I've learned previously, kind of specified the font should look inconsistent and rough. I know that it's going to try and do it in a consistent, boring font, and I want to make it in the first prompt to make it inconsistent and rough. And that's how we get these kind of results. Now, on this particular one, we do only have a portrait one, so this will be kind of a story ads. We can have another go and edit this to make it a square or create a new one, but in terms of look, we can always kind of space this out on the side or image extend it inside Canva. But this one's kind of ready to go, and that's in one simple prompt. So I hope you have found this useful, just going as kind of a stream of consciousness, just going through what I have been finding and some different examples. I'm going to be doing a lot more content on this in the future. And I'm also going to be doing some more information on how I actually come up with the ideas for these ads as well. Thinking about what ChatGPT is good and what it's not good at, coming up with a copy with Claude, and then how I go to kind of get finished ads like this. So please stay tuned for content on that will be coming up very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.